By the end of this clip today, you're going to be able to read what this says, well, what part of it says. And if you're learning Thai, there are some fascinating lessons in there that you can port into your modern Thai language learning or reading and writing. If you come to Thailand today and you see Thai writing anywhere, you'll see the Thai script. Well, that's the standard Central Thai script that we know as Klang, the central script. But that's not always how Thai has been written in Thailand. Well, Thailand as a country called Thailand is only a relatively recent thing. And so before it was Siam, and before that we had many kingdoms all over the place. And so during that time, over the past thousands of years, many different scripts have been used to write the languages of the people throughout what we know now as Thailand. If you've ever been up north, you've probably seen the Lana script. You have the Mon script, which was a huge kingdom and very powerful and influential for hundreds of years, and now you don't see it at all. You have the Ahom script, you have Tiny Tet, you have Po Khun Lam or the Ram Khamhaeng script. You have the Lao script, what you see in modern day Lao. That has been used for a time in what we know now as Thailand as well. And you have the Khom script, which is what you see on the screen today. By the end of this clip today, you're going to be able to read what this says, well, what part of it says. And if you're learning Thai, there are some fascinating lessons in there that you can port into your modern Thai language learning or reading and writing. I did a Thai version of this, and many Thais are loving it, getting into something that's quite long lost in Thailand. But you see this script everywhere, even in modern day Thailand, mainly on tattoos, the yan tattoos. You see them on blessings everywhere. But it wasn't just yan and blessings. What Thais refer to as the Khom script was used to write Thai for many years. And so as Thais are learning to read this again, there are many aha moments as you're realizing why certain things are the way they are in modern Thai. Now, at the same time, there's a lot of controversy there because many Cambodians have come out and said, oh, look, that's just Khmer. Any Khmer kid could read that. But, well, just like any English-speaking kid might be able to make out the ABCs when reading ancient Latin, you couldn't really have a kid or any English speaker who doesn't speak Latin read the Latin text and know what it means. And that's exactly what we have here. So by the end of today, I'll show you how to read this because this is the Thai language. And yeah, if you speak Khmer, if you see Sanskrit, Pali in there, you'll recognize some words. But other than that, this is pretty much straight Thai language. Before I move on, just a quick thank you to the sponsor of this clip, Ling. For anybody who's followed me over the years, you'd know that I'm really passionate about learning anything, and especially languages. I have my maternal grandfather to thank for that. My grandfather spoke 11 languages, and that was back in the 1940s. Back then, he was an anomaly in Australia, diving into languages like Chinese, Japanese, Hebrew, German, French, Italian, Latin, and even Russian. I remember him going out of his way to find anything he could that would give him language specimens. And back then, the Holy Grail was finding records, LPs that had dialogues, so that he could hear samples of the language and then he'd milk them for all they're worth. Now, let's fast forward to today, and we've come a long way. With apps like Ling, many of the things that I would normally search for and piece together are now conveniently all in one place. Dialogues, vocabulary, exercises, and most importantly, speech specimens. Unlike before, however, the key skills that I use when approaching tools like Ling haven't changed.
สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีครับ
สบายดีไหมคะ
ผมสบายดีครับ
The number one skill is the ability to truly hear what's being said. I focus on the sounds, notice the contrast with my own pronunciation, and then shift my voice to mimic the speakers of the target language. Whenever I'm listening to a dialogue, I'm not just listening to the words. I'm tuning into how they're being said, the prosody. I pay attention to the rhythm, the flow of how air moves, whether it's a or a k.
สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีครับ
Where the tongue's placed in the mouth, If you focus on these elements, a single dialogue exercise in Ling app can be a goldmine for language learning, and they offer insights that could help you keep engaged. There's no silver bullet app that will make you fluent overnight or in 3 months. But with Ling, you've got a great tool to add to your arsenal. It's designed to engage you and lay out many of the core elements that you need. And for those who like a bit of gamification, Ling has that covered too. Ling was born out of the need to make learning difficult languages easier. It includes chat practice and a pronunciation tool, which I'll cover in later clips, on how to really get the most out of them. So in supporting the Ling app, you're also supporting what I do here on this channel. Click on the link in the description for your free 7-day trial. So in my last clip, you can see here, I actually did in Thai, I translated just the first line or so into Thai. So what I'll do here is I'm going to write the Thai under it first, and then we'll analyze what it says and why it says it like that, why it was written like that, as opposed to how it might be written in modern Thai. Okay, so here I've just written out what this says in Thai. Now, because of the pad that I'm writing on, and because my handwriting's scraggly, it looks like that. But I've done the best I can. But I'll show you some of the key features that we have here when you're looking at Khom versus standard Thai. The first thing is that we have sunken letters. So have a look here. I'll just read it for you first. This says, Pra Kata Mani. So this is like a spell or an incantation, and it's called Prakata. Kata means word, like we have the word kata in Indonesian too. So kata is a word, mani jinda. So this is the name, mani jinda. I guess you would write jinda to make it easy to read. And then this is the word mon. And now you can see here, then pra. This is where we get from the Sanskrit Brahman. So you know about the Brahman. So you see this. This is a b. And so anytime that you see this, it turns to bra, turns to pra, and this is where we get the word for monk, and anything to do with gods or anything holy, deities, use this pra prefix here. So in Thai, it's this pra here. In Khom, it's written like this, and you can see the r is this subscript version of a ra r that comes around to the left. And generally, if you're looking at scripts, Indic scripts, Burmese, Khmer, Khom, Lana as well, they'll do it. You'll see the r coming down to this side. If it were a y, it would come down like this side here. It would look similar, but to the left. I'll rub that out because it's getting messy. Okay, so this word is pra, ka. Now you can see this looks like a kokwai here, except this, and it's very characteristic of the Khom and the modern Khmer script. You have what we call hair, sok, on top of it. So maybe just writing it for you here. So here is a standard ko kwai in Thai. And so that would be a. Now, if we do it in the Khom script, it's a little shorter. It comes out there. You got a little kick here, and then you'll get a kick up like that. And then here you get the hair. And so you'll see Thai kids practicing these 45-degree angles. And then you get another kick there coming down and that. So you can see these are pretty much the same. And you get a similar one in Thai. So dodek. And you'll see in Thai, they'll get this angle up top here, even if they have fast handwriting. But in the Khom script, again, you get this down there. It's lower. You get a kick there and here. And then you get the hair on top. So that would be in Thai, da. This in the Khom script is not da. This would be the cousin of this, to tao, ta, here. And so both of these letters originated from the Sanskrit, which in Devanagari is this, ta. So in modern day Thai, we have two letters. This one is the same one with a dent in the top of its head. Originally, you would write totao with this one. If you wanted a dodek, you would do the equivalent of what we have now in Thai as tomonto. So here you see these normal vowels. That's a sala'a, ka, ta. So kata, the word, mani. Now, see this really long, this is nonen here, and you can see it down here. So mani, jinda. Now, here we have another sunken letter. So if I were to write a normal no, so this is no nu in Thai, this is standard no in Khom, but if you have the sunken version or the subscript version, it's just that portion of it, and you can see that here. Okay, so that says that's a jaw jaan up top, jaw I no jin, and then this is what I mentioned. This letter here is the Khom version of Tomonto. Now it's used to represent do dek because there was no do from back then. So this is the one used. So this says jinda. And then here we have the word mon. So again, we have a subscript no. And here we have the to and we have this galan. Now modern Khmer doesn't use the galan. Let me show you here. So in Thai, the word mon, we have mo, no, and galan. So this mon, and that's where we get the word like mantra from as well. It's like a spell, and you can see the silent marker over this do. And so what happens if we're writing this in Khom? So the mo comes here. All right, so we write it up there like this. And so rather than having the no here next to it, it would go under it. And so this would be like this. No, mon, and then we need this letter here to represent the Sanskrit spelling or the Pali spelling. And so you remember what that looks like, a little small dodek with hair on it, and it goes out like that. So that is the word mon as well. Now, Khmer people, when they read this, would know this word because it's not a Thai word or it's not a Khmer word. It's a Pali word that's been brought into Khom script, Khmer script, Thai script, and every other script that's been used here. They would have had these words transliterated in it, most times letter for letter, into whatever script that target script is. So that's why when Khmer people read this whole first bit, yeah, they're going to understand it. But when you read this bit, this is not Khmer. That says chai. So you see this cho chang, okay, and this is again Mai Muan, so chai, and you do not have this tone marker in modern Khmer. So it says chai dai, chai dai. Now this again is that tomonto, which turns into a dodek in Khom script. So dai, and again we have a tone marker which is not present in modern day Khmer. They don't have tones. So chai dai. Now this is a really interesting one. You know how I said that this is a subscript raw here from the word pra? This is the subscript raw, and this is where sometimes the rules are flexible. So if I wanted to write the word san or sara, in modern Thai, the word san is like this, okay? So this is so, ra, and so you could call that sara or san, like khao san is the news. If I were to write this in Khom script, I could do it a couple of ways. So this is my saw here. I go up. It looks similar, except it normally comes out like this. You can see that kind of looks like this. This is the standard saw there. And you would have your coming out here. Now, there is a choice. Do you do your rorur? Now, this is the Khom, rorur here. Or do you place it here? Now, you can't place it here because the rorur sub one goes under like this and over. And so what they've done in this word here, they haven't used this one here. So where this would technically read sra, that's not a sound in Thai, this is used to write san or sara, sara. So you can see here, sara, pat, this again is a Popan, and this is your dodek again. So let me read this. This says Pra Khatam Mani Jindamon Chai Dai Sarapat. So the prayer or the spell of Mani Jindamon Chai Dai Sarapat can be used for all purposes. Now I don't want to make this clip too long. I'll just read it out and point out some of the extra features. So here we have the word ta, riak. So this again has the Maito tone marker on a high class. So ta, this does not exist in Khmer. Ta ja riak. That the word ja in Thai, we call this a visanjani. So it has this these little two at markers put in here, but you'll see here that it doesn't because that's inherent. So this is a jawjan here, and it's just written like that for the word ja. And then this, if you look at it now, remember I said that the raw subscript goes to the left and the yaw goes to the right. So this is a y, like writing a yaw yak. So this is the ear vowel, riak. This is kokai with hair on its top. So ta ja riak, if you're going to call นื้อ. Now this is another interesting one. We have a subscript or ang coming under like this. It looks like this. Okay, so this is the vowel, sala so this is เนื้อ ไม่โท เนื้อ so ถ้าจะเรียก เนื้อ เรียก ปลา this is interesting too here. This is a บอใบไม้ written with a law ling under it, and they've put a galan on top because it didn't exist to actually have a separate letter for ball and the r there. So the word pla for fish is a bobaimai with a galan on top to show that it's a popla, a subscript loling, and then sala'a. And you can see that sala'a has linked onto it here, bla, which is weird because normally if you were going to write the word ba, you would actually put it here and the r would come over the top. It would be a different character, but this is bla. And then this is the word hey. It kind of looks like a hohib, to give, ow. This vowel here is an independent u vowel, and then when it's put with this sala ow here, that's the word ow or all, depending on where you're saying it. And then here we have another subscript, so hin, hey ow hin. So hin means rock, like hua hin, sila. So you can see this is the so sala here, so it's like a call with a tail on it. Si, and we have la, law ling, hey ow hin, sila. So a stone. Wrong, we have a raw or, that's an ang again. This is a ngongu here. So wrong tao, that means wrong tao, sia, gone. And again, we have this ang down the bottom here, mai ek, tone marker, nonu. So that is the word gone that we see here. So what does that actually mean? Well, it's saying, well, if you're going out fishing or you want to catch animals, you need to prepare first. So then this next bit says,ถ้าจะให้เป็นเมตตา so we can see ben here again. We have the ball with this making a ball pla instead of a ball mai, and then we have this which isn't in Khmer that we see today. This is a shortener, so that's the word ben that we know in Thai. Metta means mercy. Hai sek. Sek basically means to do a ceremony. And then keung. This is the word that we know today as keung. Keung is an interesting word meaning machine or some kind of device. Keung hom. So you take perfume or something fragrant, or sek keung nung, so or some kind of cloth that you wear on yourself. That would be the nung hom. So hom like a pahom, a blanket, something that you put around yourself. Ta tua. Now look at this one. This is interesting. Ta tua. Again, we have this totao here, which looks like a dodek with hair. This bottom one here is a subscript version of Wowan, and this is that. So that is just like writing the word tua. So you can see we've got the wa, we've got this mayanakat here. That's ta tua. So to wipe or to rub all over yourself. Tang tua. This is a ngongu down the bottom here. So this is the word tang mai ek. So a low tone, and tua again. So what it's basically saying is if you want to attract something, then you either need to get perfume and put it over yourself, or the cloth or the clothes and wrap it around yourself. And then lastly, again, we have this word ta. This is a to tung, mai to. So ta ja. So we know this, each sentence has used ta ja. And then we have this mo'a maha. So basically this means if you're going to be finding a mate, hey ao bai. So this is hey ao. Again, we have this u but turned into a sala ao. So that's ao. And this is bai, like we have in Thai, bo bai mai. So take a leaf, bai rak. So this is the actual type of leaf. It's called rak son. And so this is a type of tree. So you take these two leaves or take the leaves. And then this is the word kien. Now, this is interesting because rather than writing the ear vowel here, they've actually put the yoyak and the sala'i and the nonu here. So the word to write in Thai is kien. I'll just write it like that. Kien with a rising tone. So you could technically, this is what the kho looks like. So you have this vowel here, and you could have the yoyak coming down like this, and then a nonu at the end. But what they've done here is that they've actually put the yoyak in here and a subscript no. So that is the word kien, and this is the flexibility of Khom. The rules were flexible. You could write things many different ways. Kien, and then it says tu. This is the name. We have a o-ang down the bottom. Ying. So here we have a ho, and this is a yo ying. You know how in modern Thai we have that little dangly bit down the bottom? Well, that's the subscript for yo ying, and they kept it in there. So that says ying. That means woman. This is a ngongu here. And this one here says chai. We see the subscript yoyak. So cho, a, and yoyak subscript. Kon. So the word kon is written with a nonu under it. So kon rather than next to it. La. We don't have an a here, just like in the word ja, bai. So it says you take the bairak leaves and you write on two of these leaves the name of the male and the female, and then you put them together. So the spell, if you want to attract your mate, like a love potion or a love incantation, you get the bairak leaves and you write the name of the female and the male, and you put them together like that, and that will attract those people together. Very often when people are learning modern Thai, they think these rules are crazy. Why is it written like this? Why do you have the vowels? Why do you put the tone marker here? Why not on here? You need to understand that this is the result of a really long evolution of scripts and different scripts melding together. What you see here is like an intermediary step where actually many of the things you see today that might be confusing came from when the Thai script lost these subscript letters and they were all put in a row. And so what would have been, say, tone markers over a block of initials all of a sudden becomes something that is horizontal. And so you've got to find that last point to, say, put the tone marker, whereas before it would have just been over a vertical block. I hope this has been interesting for people learning Thai. Learning to read the Khom script, it opens up a whole world for you. It's fun because you can see what all these blessings mean and the yan tattoos and different things around not only Thailand but in Cambodia as well. And through reading it, you get to understand modern Thai a lot more as well. I hope this has been interesting for you. I'll be doing another series on the Lana script and also the Jawi script. I've got those preparing at the moment, so stay tuned for that. If you thought this was useful, click like, subscribe. I'm Stuart J. Raj. I'll see you on the other side.